Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to see all the code that we had seen in our previous video, which was where I had covered the built-in data types, which were bytes, bytearray, Memoryview and none-type. So today we'll be looking at the same code in the Visual Studio. Now most of the beginners, what they do is they skip these data types, but these are extremely important in real world applications. So today we'll cover bytes, bytearray, Memoryview, none type, and along with that I will also show you concepts about encoding, decoding and text file versus binary files in the Visual Studio. So by the end of this video, you will understand where our data types are used in networking, APIs, file, image processing and much more. So let's get started. Now the first concept is bytes. In Python, bytes represent raw binary data. Every character is stored internally as numbers. So if you say hello, H is a character. So H is stored internally as a number. Okay, and let's create a byte object here. So this first line number 21 here, byte data, this is creating an object which is of the type bytes. So now notice this letter B here. This B before the string, that tells Python to create a byte object instead of a normal string. If you've seen how do we create a string, this is the way how we create the string, correct? If there is no B prefixed after the string, before the string, it is a normal string. But as soon as I write B, this tells Python that you have to create an object which is of the type byte. Okay, so now let's print byte data. Okay, so now I'll go here and I'll run this. At the terminal, I get the output and I'll see what it gives. So this is the output of these three lines, 15, 16, 17, where I'm saying print /n gives you a new line. That means this space, then plus equals to will be repeated. I have told you this star, when it is used with a string and this integer says that you have to repeat this 60 times, correct? So hence this equal to has been repeated 60 times, correct? Now print byte versus bytearray. See, it has written as it is because this is within the string. So this is how we print the whatever alphabets or anything what we want to, or titles we want to print. Next, this is the line that again this is repeating and in which you can see that it has repeated equal to 60 times. So this is what the output is shown here about with respect to those lines. Next, byte object behead. Now here we have seen this. Okay, now we have created an object and we have printing the byte object. So this is the byte object and what it prints, it gives you exactly the same thing which we had assigned here, right? B hello, it has printed that. Now type, this is our function which gives us what exactly that object type is, right? And here the object type is bytes. Okay, now here this sentence, this is a for loop we have used. Now for B in bytearray, so in is a membership, right? Now here what we membership operator basically. So what we are asking it to do, get each and every character from byte data. Now byte data is what type? Byte. So see, whenever we are printing B, what it shows us, it is showing us here, if you see output, see 104, 101, 108, 108, 111. But what have we saved here? Hello, correct? So your question would be, why is it coming this way, right? Why are there those numbers? So already I told you, what did I tell you? For bytes, the Python saves it as numbers, okay, and these are actually your Unicode values in the decimal format. Okay, so here all these values that are printed 101, 101, 108, 108 and 111, these are decimal values, Unicode values in decimal format. Okay, so this is the code for these values. It's printing these values here. Okay, now we move on to this. So for I, for I comma b, now we have seen enumerate function. I have already covered in my earlier lecture, right, where it will give you both, correct? It gives you the index and value also. So here if you see, this is the index number, right? I, here if you see, I'll just now here see 1 2 3 4 HELLO 4 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so my 0 is starting from here, okay, till 4, because I have 5 alphabets. Now this has come in the same line. Why? Because I have not used slash n. So if you want this in the new line, you just use slash n, that's it. So this will come in the next line. Okay, so let's understand what exactly we are writing here. Now I have used a enumerate function to get both your index value and your this actual value that is stored. Okay, so what is the actual value that is stored here? Now see, decimal value, Unicode value in the decimal format. So DEC gives you 101, which is decimal value. What is your corresponding binary value? Bin of the same thing, correct? So what I am passing here is my decimal value and I am asking it to give me the binary. So this is again a function. See here, function bin, and it returns a binary representation of an integer. So this is the binary representation of this 101, 104, 108. Okay. Now next here is hexadecimal. This would be hexadecimal representation. So Unicode, we have 3 representations, right? Hexadecimal, decimal and binary. By default, Python here, it has given us decimal format, correct? So the fastest one is hexadecimal because it is easier to convert it to binary. In encoding, you can convert it to the bytecode binaries that are saved in the memory. Okay. So this is what. So all these represent the same thing. Okay, but in different formats. So now moving on to the next one. You uncommenting the next line will raise an error. So what exactly are we doing here? Now if I say, see here I am print first character representation. So when I give this bytes, since this bytes are, what are they? They are sequence, right? So if I give this index value, it will show me that it will, okay, first let me comment this because then I can actually show you properly. Okay, let me keep this. Okay, so here we go, CLS, CLS, and yeah, first 1 second. Okay, I have to uncomment this also because down there it won't it is not recognizing byte data, correct? As you can see here, it is giving me where is the byte data that I need to print or access. So I have commented I need to create an object, right, to access it. So I have created the object there. Now this is it. Okay, so here now if you see, now here I am actually, okay, so now it has run and we are able to CLS once again, CLS, and here I am able to see now first character representation. This is first character representation byte data, and what I am doing, I am accessing the what is the value at index 0. So if you see, my values were in the which format? Decimal format, Unicode decimal format. First was 104, which represents H, hello. We have hello, so H represents 104, right? So now here we have actually shown here first character value. So this is accessing the value, but we have learned in our yesterday's video that bytes are immutable. That means you cannot update it, right? Here what am I trying to do it? Here I am trying to update it. That means I am trying to change the value at 0, correct? Now this is how I update, right? We have seen it for list also, tuples also, correct? So this is one of the ways how you update it. So here, since I can access it, I should also see, well, the same way can I update it. But here what I'm trying to show you is that bytes are immutable. That means they cannot be changed. So here ideally this will give me an error. Okay, so here we go. Let's see the error, because errors are how we learn. We fall. Oh, I have not saved it, so it did not. Okay, now it should give me the error. Okay. Okay, so here we are doing memory view. Okay, and here we go. So see, I got an error. Now let's see what the error is. Okay, always learn through mistakes, right? And that is one of the best way to understand things. And when you make a mistake, you fall, you always remember things better. See, type error. What is the type error here? Bytes object does not support item assignment. That means it is immutable. Got it? Clear about this basic concept? So I will now comment this, because else I'll keep getting that error. Okay. So now all this code could have been written in a much better way. Also, see, there are professional ways how we write this code, right? Using your try catch, exception handling, logging, all those things come into picture. But what I am doing right now is this is basic. So this all the codes that I am representing or giving demos on, they are in the procedural format. That means one after the other. Neither in the functional format nor in the OOPS format. I have not covered that, right? So you will get confused. So I am using the simplest way of explaining things. Okay. So we move ahead. So now moving on to the next part. So here we have understood we cannot modify individual elements, correct? Now we see byte array. Okay, so we have learned that bytes arrays are mutable. They can be changed, isn't it? Now first let me check if I have done properly. Yeah, so this is running properly. So here bytes array. Now see what I have done here. This is I am creating a byte array object by using the constructor here, and I am passing the byte data that I have created above. Byte data is what? Bytes object, right? This. See here, this is the byte object. No, this is saved here in the form of decimal bytes, Unicode. So here what I am doing is now I am converting that into byte array. Why? Because I can access and update the byte array. See here. So I have created a byte array object here. Correct? So it will take an iterable object here. So bytes data. Now I'll print it. Before modification I will just print it. Okay. So before modification it gives me, 1 second, I'll just comment all this. Okay, this first part concept we are clear with, so we don't need to keep printing this now. I just need to see what concept we are working on. We'll just print that much. Okay, so that not lot of it gets, while you are looking at it, it becomes easier for you to understand. Correct? So here byte array before modification. Okay, so here I have done byte array before modification. Now I'll just see print byte data. Let's see what it prints. Okay, so here we go. So byte array before modification. Here I'll go to my terminal, CLS, enter, and now this is it. So see, byte array before modification it printed. Now it has become byte array, and what I have in my byte array? B hello, which means my bytes. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to change my H to J. Okay, what is hello? In hello I want to change my 0th element. Now if I see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you see this byte array, this is my 0th element. H is my 0th element. So now byte array underscore data, and this is my 0th element. I want to change H to J, capital J. Okay, so what is my ordinal number? See, I can easily give, if I know the Unicode decimal value, I can assign it directly. Or easier way is this function gives you the ordinal value of that character. See, ordinal value here in Python is same as Unicode point of that character, correct? So we are working with Unicode, right? Bytes, binaries, byte arrays, right? So this will actually convert J character into our Unicode. So this gives a integer value, which is a Unicode representation of this alphabet. Okay. So as you can see here, byte array after modification, I have now printed this byte array. Before modification was B hello, and byte array after modification became jello J. So our B, that is H, was replaced by J. Why? Because we have actually accessed the index 0, and at that value we have changed it to J, that is jello. Hence the modified string. So now we will see into real world usage. So where exactly do we use these? So bytes are used in images, encrypted files, API responses, and byte arrays are used in network packets and streaming buffers. Okay. Now moving on to why do we use memory. So Memoryview here, let's see. Again here I am actually printing the dashes and Memoryview heading. Okay, so let me first comment the above part. This whole we have done byte and byte arrays we have understood, right? And now we are moving on to Memoryview, right? How to, why the Memoryview? Because now see, we have large binary files, right? Byte arrays. For example, here I have just used byte array Python programming. This I am passing as a byte object, right? And this byte array, what it will do? It will store the arrays, large data. Now, in real world scenarios, it's large data, and but here I am just using Python programming as my string object for demonstration. Okay. So now here view, what we do is Memoryview. I am actually using this function Memoryview and passing my large data object here. Okay, so this creates a Memoryview object. So this view is a Memoryview object. Now I will print the original data, which is print large data, right? So here, if I do CLS here now. So original data and the byte array data is Python programming, right? So this is printed. Now we access through Memoryview. We will access through Memoryview. That means so here we are. So accessing through Memoryview, I am using the view object and the index number as 0. Correct? So here I will do it as this and move. So here it is giving me 80. Okay. Why? Because it is our P, the Unicode for Unicode in the decimal form for P is 80. Okay. So it is giving me my decimal number. Now I'll modify this through modifying it through view of 0. Okay. So now your view of 0, I will add it as J again, so that it will become our, instead of P, it will replace it by J. Okay. So here we go. So Python programming. So P was replaced by J, right? So now here if we see print Python programming, here see now why do we use Python why do we use Memoryview? The most important thing is that it actually Memoryview provides direct access to the memory. So whatever we are changing, it is directly changed from the memory itself, and it does not create copies. Okay, it is faster, it is memory efficient, and it is useful for large files and streams. Okay, so in real world, where is it used? It is used in video streaming, image processing, machine learning, high performance servers, right? All those places it is used. Correct. So now we have seen how we can byte is a immutable object and byte array is a mutable object. How we can modify it, a Memoryview. How we can modify a string through a Memoryview object, right? And why do we do it? Because it actually gives us direct access to it, right? Now started, huh? So now let's understand encoding and decoding. Now let's computer understands bytes, we all know, right? And humans understand text, correct? So in Python, encoding, what it does, it converts text into bytes, and what decoding does, it decodes the bytes into strings. Okay, now here if you see here, what I have done here, this is text, right, without the prefix b. That means this is a text string value. Object type is string. Now original string is text. I am here converting. So this is my function. This is my method that is available with our text object. So what this does? This gives me the encoded value, Unicode. Okay. So this is actually converting it into bytes. Okay, this is giving me the bytes. See here, this is a bytes object that it gives back, and this is called encoding. So I converted my string into byte. So if you see now, if I print the encoded value, it will give B Python. That means it has been converted to byte, correct? And decode, what it does, it converts byte into strings, right? So now here encoded, which was in byte object, with byte I have a decode method available that converts that value into my string value. So if you see, I'll run this. Okay, I will run this, and you can see the output. So here if you see now here we go. So here first it was string, only Python is printed out here. Next, when I use the encoded method, it gives me B. B stands for bytes, right? So my original string was converted to byte object, correct? Bytes. Now when I decoded it, the byte object was again back converted to my string object. So this is what encoding and decoding is about in Python. Okay, got understood? Okay, so now next we have our text encoding. This is extremely common when we are working with APIs, database files, and web applications. For examples, when you have API message name and John, right? A binary message, API message, we will encode it using UTF-8. So there are three formats you can use: UTF-8, UTF-16, and UTF-32. So before data is sent across the internet, it is usually converted into bytes and then sent. Okay, so that is how APIs work. Okay, so now moving on to text file versus binary. So here text files and binary files, right? Let me first comment the above statements so that we can just focus on to our current topic, which is text files versus binary files. So here now I will just remove the comments for this one. Okay, one second here. So examples with open sample as file sample write, and example binary files with open binaries, right? And here we go. Okay, so here we have, right, so just let me see how this works with CLS, and if I run this, okay, so here it's running properly, right? So now we go with text and binaries, right? Text file, binaries files. So here we go. This is our text and binaries. So here I have printed, this is fine, yes. So now what does text file do? Text file, it stores text file, it stores text, JSON, CSV or XML data, right? How do we open them? We open them using R for read and W for write. Okay, this is how we open, because see, whenever we open the file, we either open it to read or write. That's hence this mode. Okay, which mode are you opening it? Are you opening it to read or are you opening it to write? Okay, now for binary file, it stores raw bytes. Raw bytes in the sense what? It stores actual zeros and ones. Okay, so which is not legible to humans, correct? Now what are the types of files that are stored? Now if you see your picture files, PNG, JPG, and even PDF, MP3, your video or audio files, they all are stored in the binary format. So I have one image file here, yeah, demo dot. So now if I actually open this in a, now see, if I try to read this, okay, if I try to read this file, reveal in, open, okay, this is not opening in the, okay, reopen in editor with text editor. Okay, now see, this is giving an error. Now here, though it is giving an error, I will still do open anyways. Okay, and I will in text editor only. See what has come. Now all it's like abba dabba jabba. We don't understand what this language is all about, right? That means it has been saved in a binary format. Okay, hence when it opens, it gives you all this. But we can always see the file in a actual picture, right? Like if I open this is how I see my PNG file, correct? But in the at the back end, if you want to open it in the text editor, how is it saved? Just now I showed you, right? It is saved in the binary format, correct? So this is how it stores raw bytes, correct? Now for binary, what are the modes? RB, that means read binary, and WB means write binary. Okay. So now examples for text file. So I have this sample text. Welcome to Python. I want to open a sample.txt file and write as file. So sample file. This will actually write in a file named as sample.txt and print sample.txt created. Okay. And next is binary file, which will write B, A, B, C, D, E, F, and with that open this. Okay, so this is B means byte code, correct? And I will see sample.bin created. Okay, so now I have run that code. So now I will just see, whereas see, if you see sample.bin has been created and sample.txt has been created, correct? So now I'll open this sample.txt. What is written here? Welcome to Python. This is what this code has done. Okay. Here now sample.txt, this has been created, correct? And with binary, see what where is it now? Okay, it went down. So here sample.bin. So this is A, B, C, D, E, F. This is how it was shown. But now if I want to see it in the editor, right? Now if I open this in my text editor, here I go and I will reopen editor view, text editor, and bin. Okay, so internally it has saved in the binary format. Okay, so this is byte code it has saved, correct? Now next we have, our topic is none. Okay, what is none? So let me just first comment this. So we have seen the example for text and binary format also, and how we open it for read and write mode. Okay, now we have written also. Okay, now here what is none? None means when there is no value available. Okay, so it represents none type, correct? In SQL we save it as null, correct? Now here if you see this value is none, and what is the type? It will print none and the type would be none type, correct? Now let me run this code again. Yeah, so here, okay, have I saved it? Yes. Okay, CLS, enter. Now here Control S, saved. Now I'm running this, and yes. So see, none and none type. None represents no value, correct? Here none represents no value or missing values or unknown values. If you don't know the values, for example, a user is entering the data from some other place and giving his data that you need to store in the database. He will enter name, he will enter surname, but he won't enter his address. So address is a missing value or unknown value, you can say. Or so inside the database it will go as none from Python, and in the database it will store as null value. Okay, empty results. So for all these scenarios your none data type is used. Okay, so we have now covered our none also. Now none versus 0, correct? Now 0, someone will say, what, 0 is also nothing, right? For us, when we don't have any chocolates, we say 0 chocolates. But that also is an information, right? Now, for example, you have an account, but you don't have anything in the account. That means the value is 0, correct? It can, so it 0 is also an information there, okay? That means there is nothing in the account. That means 0. It is not null. Empty means the value is missing or unknown, okay? And unknown balance would be none, okay? So clear about what actually is the difference between none and 0. Okay, so this is what is the difference between your null and 0. Next, when we move on to none, we move on to our identity. So how do you check none? I have covered that, right? You should not use, even it is recommended by PEP, it recommended that you should always check your none values with is. Why? Because it does identity checks, right? When you check with double equals to, it is not recommended, okay? So this is all for today that I wanted to cover, okay? So keep practicing, and as much as you practice, it will become more and more easier, okay? And it will be just primary that you open and you start typing into it. Try your code. It's okay if you have errors, it's fine, okay? But keep coding, keep learning, and keep growing. Bye for now.